within criminal law cases, the Crown Prosecution Service is usually a prosecutor. So criminal law such as burglary, assault, etc. Things that are identified as being in the public interest. So there are obviously certain things and occurrences within the workplace that can fall as part of criminal law, and that if an individual were to be responsible for, would be investigated through the criminal law and the Crown Prosecution Service, as opposed to, you know, through employment law means. And I'll come on to a bit more detail in that in a second. The burden of proof and identifying the proof aspect sits with the prosecutors at the CPS, so the jury. And it's always because it always has, the idea is, the notion is that it always has to apply back to, is it in the public interest? And by public interest we mean, is that individual, is that activity, is that problem a risk to the public? So things like, you've probably got a whistleblowing policy in your document. Now, where a whistleblowing case is found within a company, this has to be reported, and if found, you know, if investigated, is done so by the CPS, not by employment lawyers or, you know, within employment law. There'd be an aspect of it that would fall with employment lawyers down to cases with individuals, because obviously the company would need to make a decision on whether they're going to dismiss that person or not, but there's a difference. So civil law is a different type of law, and that aims to regulate any disputes between citizens. So that can be things like kind of petty issues, things, law in like transactional law, regulations in relation to you know, transactions, things like I'm trying to think, sort of like business rental, individual rental, it can be, or, you know, or anything that's not in the public interest, anything that's sort of resolving disputes between citizens or groups of citizens. The state doesn't have a role within that, and usually the outcome would always be a compensation claim. So, say for example, car accident, for example. And it's always done on the balance of probability. So reasonable doubt and balances of probability on the scale of who would have been responsible or to blame for a particular action.